right? Sometimes people have so many ideas and you have people talking to you about different things. And I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do everything. You cannot do everything. You need to figure out what your specific target audience is, figure out exactly what your message is, and focus.
Hi, and welcome to Kelly, where we talk about life, your life and my life, and through Kelly, we hope to inspire. I have my good friend Don Dodds on the show today, and for me, you are a very special guest, and I'll get into that as we go on. But we're going to talk about M16 marketing, and basically your company and why you started your company and what your company is for.
Sure. So M16 Marketing is an award-winning web design and digital marketing firm. We're based in Atlanta. We really help companies achieve sustainable success. That's what we primarily focus on. So how do we do that? We help companies to plan, implement, execute, analyze, report, and measure their digital growth.
So what do you see as far as a small business? What is one of the major hurdles in the beginning that a small business has to overcome?
I think a lot of times it's focus, right? Sometimes people have so many ideas and you have people talking to you about different things. And I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do everything. You cannot do everything. You need to figure out what your specific target audience is, figure out exactly what your message is, and focus.
I remember when I first met you, because you are the creator of my website, and I remember sending you over, I was trying to define, because it's hard, you know what you do, but it's hard to define that and put it into words and get it to work and get your audience to understand what that is. Absolutely. And I remember just sending you stuff and you wrote back and you go, Kelly, I really don't know what this is.
And that happens a lot, right? We get that all the time. Sometimes people they want to express so much, but you don't want to confuse the audience.
Yeah.
It's really important that when someone visits the site, they know exactly what it is you do, and what makes you particularly unique.
Yeah, and it is hard for a small business. It's hard for somebody who's just starting off, because normally when they do start off, yes, they have this big, I can help this person, I can help. I remember at the beginning, that's the way I was. I could help this person, I could help this person. Right. And I remember even teaching my classes, I would have people that they have their children come in for special needs because it helps with socialization. Right. Then I have people who are industry bound. Then I have people who just want to build self-confidence. And I wanted to serve it all. And there was a point in my growth that I had to say, I had to pick one.
Right.
And I still keep all those things in my heart, and I still give them but now we are directed towards the industry. Right. Because I want to see how far, it's also a passion of mine. I want to see how far we can go.
Absolutely.
So really probably in the last 2 years, I've redefined, the website and put it more towards the industry and growth that way.
Absolutely.
And you have helped me with that.
And I'm happy to help. Happy to make that happen.
So let's talk about this book. Tell us about it.
So this is really me being a part of a bigger picture of professionals.
And it's expert profiles?
Yeah, expert profiles, influencers, and innovators. It's really just being a part of leaders in their specific industries, and they talk to me a lot about SEO. So my contribution is really about digital marketing and how search engine optimization works in the digital marketing space.
So now, this is something that I see a lot on the website, and I don't really understand it as well as I should. And actually, I was asking Diego questions about SEO the other day. So explain that a little further.
What is SEO?
Yeah.
So there are all kinds of definitions for what SEO is or what it isn't. I define it as the art and science of driving valuable organic traffic to your website.
Okay.
Right. So it's all about driving traffic to your website, but valuable traffic. In reality, you can get traffic from India, from China, from Russia. There are bots all over the place sending traffic to your site, but that's not really valuable, right? If you're looking to get acting students here in Atlanta, getting traffic from all over the world isn't going to be helpful.
Right.
So SEO really helps you to define that.
So more about targeting.
Correct. Yeah. Targeting the right kinds of traffic, but in order to do that, you have to understand what's called keyword research.
That's what I was going to ask. Is that where the keywords come into play?
That's where the keywords come into play.
So as an acting studio, One of my keywords would be acting classes.
Acting classes, acting studio in Atlanta. We would do the research to figure out what exactly you should be, targeting.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. So the book is it's different people talking about their.
Their areas of expertise. I just happen to be a part of it, talking about digital marketing and SEO specifically.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I'm going to give to you a gift.
Thank you.
To remind you, you're a gift. You're a gift in my life. And guys,
Much
I want to
appreciated.
tell you a little small story about Dawn Dodds. I always say that in your life and in your journey, you have earth angels. And Dawn, I'm not going to get emotional. Dawn has been an earth angel for me. When I first started my acting studio, you were interested in your kids'
Yep.
training here. And that was at the very beginning when I was in that, I want to help everybody. And when I told you my vision, you were one of the first people that left and gave me courage to, it was somebody that believed in me.
Yeah.
And that's so important. It just carries through, I think it carries through eternities. When somebody
awesome.
believes in you, and especially when somebody's more advanced than where you're at in your plight.
Well, I'll tell you what was interesting about that to me was your passion and your desire to help. That's not what I see every day, right? Your passion was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And your drive to do it was unbelievable. So I feel like God just put us together and said, okay, you have to do this. And so here we are. I'm so incredibly proud of what you've done. Yeah,
Thank you.
incredible.
Thank you. Thank you for being an earth angel.
Indeed.
So if people want to find out about MC, well, let's talk about this really quick. M16
Yes.
Is a tactical weapon.
Right.
Yeah. And so you had some controversy or had people say, oh, that's a gun. We shouldn't talk about that.
Yeah.
But it's really about the power.
Indeed. So if you think about it, digital marketing is made up of a number of tactics like web design, SEO, paid search, social media. Those are all tactical things. And one of the things that I looked at when I came back into the digital marketing space was the fact that most businesses weren't thinking strategically.
Right.
So if you think about how the military works, and I'm a huge supporter of the military,
Yes.
love our vets, one of the things that's really important is that we share in common with the military. Proper planning prevents poor performance. And so planning is everything. The same thing has to be done in the digital marketing world. So I decided to name the company M16 Marketing sort of as an homage to the military. It's about strategy and tactics and pulling those pieces together.
Yeah, I love that. Do you ever sleep?
I don't sleep as much as I
No.
should. My wife keeps telling me that I need to get sleep.
Yeah, no, I can message you at 2:00 in the morning and there's Dawn. I can message you at 7:00 in the morning and there's Dawn.
That's generally what clients say as well. Do you get any sleep?
Yeah, and Dawn, you're one of the most positive people that I've ever met in my life. If I had anybody that I would just say, for young men, model yourself after, you hold that. And I don't want to put you to where, but you hold that in my mind. And,
Thank you so much.
And it's much appreciated. So if you have any advice to give to an upcoming small business, what would it be?
I would really tell businesses to make sure that you focus. All right? In our space, we focus on strategy and research, design and development, and analytics and marketing. Make sure that you have a strategy. I think the data says 50% of businesses have no strategy, and only 13% of them actually execute their strategy. That's pretty bad.
Right.
Do not go into any sort of business without having a strategy for how you're going to grow.
Right. Yeah. I mean, my mind's like, I don't have time for it to think because
Right.
we were running out of 10 minutes. But yeah, I mean, if you don't know, but that's odd to me that you'd start a business and not have a strategy.
Yeah, right. But people do it all the time, right?
Right.
I mean, they don't have a well thought out strategy.
Right.
They just think, okay, I want to do this, right? I have a goal and I'm going to go do this. But people set sometimes goals that are not realistic.
Yeah.
We have what we call SMART goals, where they must be specific and measurable, attainable, relevant, and
Right.
timely.
Right.
If you use all of those pieces together to really march towards your goals, you're able to get it.
Yeah. And I even find that with this career with acting, you'll have people that start and within 6 months they want to be booking major roles,
Right.
and they don't realize that everything happens
In time.
moment by moment, step by
Yes.
step. And if somebody who got there really went back and gave you all of those steps, you would probably think they were crazy.
Right. And that's in every area of life, right? I
Right.
mean, it's marriage, it's raising kids, it's running a business. Everything really takes time. You need to I spend countless hours just thinking about what can I do better today? What does next quarter look like?
Right.
How can I, encourage my employees, inspire them to, be their best selves?
Right. And
Yeah.
how do you do that? And then we'll close.
So we have a philosophy. I'm a big vision board kind of person. So if you walk into the office, you see this massive sign of values, what our values are, what our mission is, what our goals are, and I have a huge quote on the wall from John D. Rockefeller that says, never be afraid to give up the good to
Yeah.
go for the great."
Yeah.
And I think that's really what I encourage everybody. Being good that's good,
Right.
but always shoot to be
Yeah.
as best
One
as you
thing
can.
that I'm taking from Oprah Winfrey is she said at the beginning of her career that it took her a minute to realize that what she was doing had to have a purpose, and people had to line up with that purpose.
Yep.
And if she couldn't figure out how that person lined up with that person, with her purpose, then she couldn't use it.
Absolutely.
And that's so
true.
great, because that's when you start getting into conflict. There's got to be a purpose, and you've got to both have be invested in that purpose.
Yeah. And just be on the same page. You have to be
Yeah.
on the same page. And so as a leader, it's your job to really communicate that message, because if you don't, everyone's going in their own direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Been
So,
there, done that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Guys, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And we hope this segment inspired and educated you.